Hiya, it's me again. This is end of day 3 of my polyphasic sleep adaptation. I just want to let you know a few points about what happened today. If you watched yesterday's video, you know that the period from 8 to 12 after I had my 8 o'clock nap was the most difficult. Just wanted to go to sleep. The good news is that it was fine today. The bad news is it was because I overslept on the 4 AM slept nap. So I slept for about 4 hours. Leading up to that, from after my midnight nap, I didn't really sleep. So I think that's why I was a little bit extra tired. Obviously I laid down to try to sleep. And then after I woke up at the midnight, I went for a walk for about an hour, and I felt quite awake. I came back and I was sort of playing on the computer, and I could feel myself my eyes are getting heavier and heavier. So I was sort of I'll watch some polyphasic videos on YouTube, and I ended up watching this guy who was on his second day, and he was really tired, and he was just talking like this, and saying that he's really tired. And I should have just stopped watching then, but I just kept watching, and maybe that had an effect on it also. But for the next half hour or so I was just sitting there, and occasionally I'd just nod off while I was sitting on a football, so potentially I could have fallen over, but I'd nod off quick, and then, oh, what happened? And so then I stood up, and I was sort of standing still for a while, and then I started doing that when I was standing up. I thought, right, this is not working. So my solution was to lie down on my mattress and just rest my eyes for a little bit. I didn't go to sleep. I managed to sort of keep them open, like opening and closing, and I ended up having my 4 AM nap about 10 minutes early, which is fine. I've heard other people say you can do it within a 30-minute range either side, it doesn't really matter. But again, I slept through my alarm, which was right next to my head. I was wearing earplugs because I don't know what sort of outside sounds are going to sort of happen randomly here. I slept through the alarm and then woke up a little bit after 8 o'clock. So then I was fine from 8 till noon, and then the rest of the day was sort of pretty smooth. Still not sleeping when I lie down. Like sometimes I have a bit of a nap, but I'm definitely getting into some sort of state of rest. My body sort of turns off. I think they'd call it an alpha state with your brain waves or whatever. Because I'm quite still, and I'm sort of on the verge of nearly sleeping, but then something sort of catching my attention that's stopping me from going to sleep. I was watching another video by Aya, the lady who did it successfully, and she says it takes about a month to learn how to go straight into that REM sleep. I think that's my biggest obstacle, and I think it's most people's obstacle. I was reading also on a forum that someone was asking about that, and someone who had successfully done it said the main strategy that people use when they can't get into REM sleep straight away and sort of get through the adaptation period, what they do is just stop and go back to monophasic. So there's always that option. But after I overslept, like for a split, maybe 20-30 seconds, I was quite disappointed. I thought, oh, how could I do that? But it's just something I want to do, so I've got the willingness to see it through. You don't need willpower, I've heard. You need willingness to surrender yourself to the process, no matter how long it takes. I was thinking about possibly on the Steve Pavlina blog. He talks about at the start he was taking extra 20-minute naps, like from midnight through till 8 o'clock, like maybe one extra 20-minute nap. So I'm going to try that also, and staying outside when it's dark I think is good, because here I can't put on loud music. I can't really do anything because I'm in a building with apartments that are really close together and thin walls, so I can't even make noise or listen to music, as I said. So I'm going to stay outside, probably take my guitar to the park or something, and just stay there for 2 or 3 hours, see how that goes. That's one thing I'm going to try. Also, I've heard from different people. Aya, that lady who did it, she got it down to strict 22 minutes. That's how long she had to lie down, and then for a minute she could sort of settle and then get into sleep. Steve Pavlina started with 30, and then he tried 25, 20. I think he ended up I think it became a little bit more flexible for him when it didn't really matter. But I guess that's what it is. It's sort of it's not going to be perfect, and this is you've got to be flexible and try different things and adapt to the process. That's why it's called the adaptation period. One other thing I'd just say is, I guess, don't try it in winter because it was a little bit colder the last 24 hours. So it's a little bit more, it's easier to stay in your cozy bed if it's cold, or at least keep all the heat on. So it's quite pleasant. So then it's pleasant to be out. What else? Yeah. So the 4 p.m. and the 8 p.m. sleeps or lie downs that I've had, I didn't get much sleep. So I'm going to try and be quite vigilant about the next 4 a.m. sleep and really set the alarm up, and maybe set another one off on the internet, like eggtimer.com or whatever it's called. Have 2 alarms, so then it really wakes me up. I guess that's my challenge for the immediate 24 hours, and I'll let you know how it goes in 24 hours. See ya.